All right, so I just played the Gigasword demo at PAX East, and I gotta say, this was absolutely one of the favorite things I played at PAX. And we do have the only guy who has made this game for 6 years, solo developer, an absolutely impressive project. And how is that to make a game by yourself?
It's a lot of work. There's a lot of like learning on the job. There's a lot that I've done for this game that I am doing for the first time. So it's definitely hectic. You're gonna wear a lot of hats. It can get stressful at times. But this is a project that I've always believed in. I love Zelda games, and making a Zelda-style game is something I've just always wanted to do. So honestly, even though it's been 6 years, I've never really gotten like bored or tired of working on it. It's just been really an exciting journey.
Yeah, and in Gigasword, it seems like the main character is the sword. Honestly, I was really surprised.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that the sword feels like a character of its own.
It really is. It's sort of like the second character. You think you're like the dude who honestly reminds me sort of like Guts in a way.
Yeah.
Just because it's obviously the massive greatsword, which gotta say this cosplay is very
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The sword is very huge, and just like in the game, it has a huge part of it. And then not only are you fighting enemies with it, and it does devastating damage, has a really cool 3-hit combo, but you are interacting with the environment of the game too. You're pushing like blocks left and right. You're putting it through like elevators so you can access new areas that you couldn't access before. And I'm sure there's plenty of other mechanical stuff that you have yet to see in that demo.
Yeah, so the way it basically works is like every area will introduce its own unique ways to use the sword. Every area's got kind of its own environmental theme and different enemies. And of course, every area ends with a unique boss.
Okay.
And kind of in the same vein as Zelda, I've tried to have whatever the mechanic is from the level incorporated into the boss fight. But yeah, my approach to world design is like create a bunch of Zelda dungeons that are all interconnected, and that's kind of where you get this.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see the Zelda inspiration to it, but I also felt like some other games. I feel like Mega Man to some degree, especially with the music.
Oh, sweet.
And
that's a huge compliment because I love Mega Man and I love the soundtracks from those games.
It absolutely had that Mega Man vibe, and I love Mega Man games. So no, the music was so on point. Also, like another game reminded me of Shovel Knight, actually, just because the weapon was such a big part of that game too. And I'm another big fan of Shovel Knight. So
that's one of my favorite games.
There you go. So I mean,
I've tried to pack all my favorites. I've tried to pack into this.
I can definitely feel the love and passion in this project for sure. And that's a meaty demo. I mean, I played it for about 20 minutes, and it was like, wow, I could just keep on going.
That's how. It's like, so that's the thing with this game. It's like it's kind of tough to demo because there's so much that I need to teach the player and get across to them. It's like, that you have to have that tutorial segment in there so that they know what's going on. But if I end it right after the tutorial, it'll be like nobody's really gotten into the meat of the game. So the area that you are in is called the monastery, and that's the first major area. And I really wanted to let the player explore that space to let them know, like, hey, you're, like, this is how the rest of the game is going to feel. You're going to get lost. There's tons of secrets. There's tons of different mechanics to explore, and it's just, when you're in the monastery, you can expect the rest of the game to be just like that, but with a ton of different variety in terms of mechanics and enemies.
Oh yeah, no, I mean the enemy design was actually really solid too. I mean, there's like that one enemy who was like shooting fire to the left and right. I was like, okay, what is happening? Like a lot of things are evolving over and over. Can you give us some hints at some future enemies we could potentially see in the game?
So without getting too much into the story, the way it works is that the whole game takes place in this tower, and there was this sacred crystal at the top of the tower. It's really powerful. The humans want it, but the twist is that when they get it, that it morphs them into all the monsters that you fight in the game. So all the enemies that you're killing used to be humans.
Oh, wow.
So as you go through the game, like a lot of the designs kind of get more and more like creepy and horrific because they kind of look like people that are like mid-transformation. So some of the enemies kind of have environmental themes. Others are just like weird, and I've tried to not do anything like generic. I didn't want to do like just like slimes and skeletons and bats and stuff like that. Like I really tried to push myself to come up with like stuff that hasn't really been seen before. So hopefully I did a good job. But
I think I did an excellent job, honestly. Like especially like with the fire enemy, I was like, okay, like we got a lot more than I thought going on.
That's good. And he's one of my favorites. So.
And one of the things I really liked about the game was just like when you don't have the sword, when you are powerless, but it gives you so much more agility and mobility. So there's a lot more platform than I originally thought there was in the game, like wall climbing and just the puzzle solving aspect of it that I guess the Zelda inspiration is coming from too.
For sure, yeah. It's been fun because as a designer, like when I'm creating a space where the player is going to be doing a lot of combat and stuff like that, or if it's a sword puzzle, then like I design those rooms in a certain way to promote that kind of gameplay. But if it's a room where you're going to put the sword down, I get to kind of, all of a sudden, he can jump much higher. So now I get to make rooms that feel a lot more like a traditional platformer, like, let's say like Mario or even like Celeste or something like that. You get a ton more freedom with like movement. And so you have those two different play styles that are combining in that way.
No, absolutely. Well, when is this game releasing?
The goal is the end of this year. Although this demo is currently on Steam, so anybody that's interested can go play it at home right now. You can wishlist the game, and it will be coming to all platforms as well.
Awesome. Well, I've already wishlisted. I did my part.
Sweet.
So you
I appreciate that.
too at home. All right, definitely wishlist it. And yeah, thank you so much for letting me play.
Thank you so much for playing. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
It was awesome, for sure.